Good morning, students. Welcome to LP Savani Riverside School, Dabholi, Surat, Standard 8, Subject Science, Chapter number 9, Reproduction in the Animals. In this chapter, we have to learn about the reproduction. In previous year, you already learn about the reproduction in the plants, and in today, we have to learn about the reproduction in animals. So what is different between reproduction in animals and plants? So in this chapter you have to learn how the animals are reproducing their generation in the another generation, and which modes of the reproductions, then after sexual reproduction. These kind of topics you have to learn in this chapter. So let's we summarize which chapter you have to learn. You have to learn in the Zoom lecture, but this is the introduction type of video lecture to introduce about you to chapters. So you have to learn about the types of the sexual reproduction. First one is a sexual production and another is asexual production. Okay, so this topic is most important for the examination, and you have to learn in the Zoom lecture of the science via Zoom with ID and password. Okay, so ID and password you have to generate with the help of your class teacher and school. So contact your class teacher and school to generate the Zoom ID and password to join our Zoom classes. So reproduction resulting from the fusion of male and female gametes is called sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction is used to make the process between the male and female, and then after it produces their child, and child having a same characteristics like his father and mother. Okay, the reproduction organs in the female includes ovaries and oviducts and uterus. So these are the main organs which uses the female during the sex. The reproduction organs in male includes test, sperm ducts and penis. So these are the sexual organs of the male which he use during the sex process. Okay, so the ovary production female gametes called ova, and the test produces male gametes called the sperms. So male using the sperm to produce his child during the process of the reproduction. So the ovary production female gametes called ova, and the fusion of the ovum and the sperm is called fertilization. So fertilized egg is called the zygote. So the fertilized egg is known as a zygote, and the fertilization that takes place inside the female body is called internal fertilization. So in female body it is internal fertilization, and in the male it is sperm development. This is observed in human being, other animals such as hens, cows and dogs. So hens, cows and dogs are also doing same process like a human to do fertilization or any reproduction process. And the fertilization that takes place outside the female body is called external fertilization. So whenever female goes to produce his child or her child during the fertilization, it is called external fertilization. This is observed in frog, fish and starfish. So frog, fish and starfish doing the external fertilization, which is with like a eggs. Okay, so the zygotes divides repeatedly to give rise to any embryo. So zygote divides in separate, and it divides into the cells, and that is known the embryos. The stages of the embryos in which all the body parts are identifiably called fetus. So fetus is the parts which is used during the reproduction. Animals such as human being, cows and dogs which gives the birth to young ones are called viviparous animals. So यहाँ पे जो एनिमल्स और ह्यूमंस है वो बच्चे को जन्म देते हैं, ठीक है, वो एग्स नहीं रखते। तो वैसे उसे लोग एनिमल्स को क्या बोलते हैं, विविपरस एनिमल्स बोलते हैं। जैसे कि काउस है, ह्यूमंस है, डॉग्स है, they gives the birth to child. And animals such are hen, frog, lizard, butterfly which lay eggs are called viviparous animals. So oviparous animals put the eggs and they birth his or her child with the help of eggs. Okay, so the transformation of the larva into the adult through drastic changes is called metamorphosis. Okay, so metamorphosis is the process of being a larva to adult child with the help of reproduction, that is known as metamorphosis. Then after, the types of reproduction in which only single parents is involved is called asexual reproduction. Okay, so in asexual reproduction is the production which with the help of having sex. Okay, in hydra new individual develop from the birds. This method of asexual reproduction is called the budding. So आप देख सकते हो कि जो बर्ड्स होते हैं, ठीक है, बर्ड्स में क्या होता है कि जो इंडिविजुअल डेवलपमेंट होता है, इससे उसमें बच्चे का रिप्रोडक्शन होता है. देन आफ्टर द अमीबा reproduces by dividing itself into two parts. सो जो सिंगुलर सेल वाले जो भी एनिमल्स है वो क्या करते हैं, अमीबा जैसे वो अपने आप को दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर देते हैं. दिस टाइप ऑफ असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इज कॉल्ड द बाइनरी फ्यूजन. तो वो जो अमीबा है वो बाइनरी फ्यूजन से अपनी जो रिप्रोडक्शन की प्रोसेस है वो आगे बढ़ाता है. देन आफ्टर you have to learn in this chapter these keywords, that is first one is asexual reproduction, which I will teach you in the Zoom lecture in brief. Okay, so you have must be join the Zoom class if you want to learn about this chapter briefly. So binary fission, then after the buddings, then after the eggs, embryos, and external fertilization. Okay, so fertilization, then after the fetus, internal extra fertilization, then after the metamorphosis, then after the oviparous animals, and after sexual reproduction, then after sperms, viviparous animals, and zygotes. So these are the keywords which you have to learn in this chapter to write the question and answer. Okay, if you don't know about these keywords, you can't write any question because it is the keywords which you have to help. This will helpful you to write the question. And next is exercise. It exercise is also very large. It have up to 9 or 10 question. So this will I also going to solve during the Zoom lectures. So let's we see about all chapter in brief. There are approximate 12 figure and 12 processes which you have to learn with the help of figure and how to draw figure. It will also teach you in the particular lectures. So this is the biology chapter of biology and it is most IMP for examination. Okay, so you have to learn with the help of Zoom class. It is necessary for all, and if you are not able to join the Zoom class, it is lost for you. So as soon as possible you have to join the Zoom classes. So here you can see that this is the human ovum. By using that the human will produce his child, and this is the fertilization process. And then after zygotes, then after you have to learn about the eggs of frogs, then after ovulation and developing the embryos into the child of mother, and the zygotes formation and development of the embryos from the zygotes and ball of the cells. So this kind of most important topics you have to learn from these chapters. Okay, so as far as possible generate your Zoom ID and password. Okay, thank you so much.